He walked into my clinic slowly, like the weight of every year sat on his back. His eyes were tired, his shoulders curled forward, and when he finally spoke, his voice cracked. Like something had broken inside. "Dr. James," he said, "I don't feel like a man anymore." Now he wasn't talking about pride or appearance. He was talking about something deeper, a loss of drive, of energy, of connection to his own body. And what happened next shocked even him. Because within 24 hours, things started to shift. And it all began with a simple change to his breakfast. One food that sparked something alive in him again. If you're over 60 and you've ever felt like time was taking more than it gave, stay with me, because this one thing could bring you back to life. Let's get something clear right up front. The issue isn't that your body is too old to respond. The issue is that no one ever taught you how to feed it properly. After 60, see, most older men are told to avoid fat, cut down cholesterol, maybe drink some juice and nibble on toast in the morning, and then they wonder why they feel weaker, slower, less like the man they used to bub you. Your body, especially after 60, is like a high-performance engine that's been running low on fuel for decades, and when you finally give it the right building blocks, you'd be amazed how quickly it comes back to life. What happens in your body after 24 hours, 7 days, and 30 days? The beauty of the aging male body is that it never truly gives up on you. It waits patiently, quietly, for the moment you finally give it the nourishment it's been craving. And when you do, it responds with strength and clarity that can feel almost miraculous. That's exactly what one of my longtime patients, Richard, told me. He said it wasn't one big moment. It was the little changes, day after day, and he could feel himself slowly coming back to life. So, what actually happens when you start eating eggs every morning? Within the first 24 hours, your body immediately starts using the protein and choline to rebuild and refuel. Blood flow begins to improve behind the scenes, and your brain kicks into gear, producing more neurotransmitters that support energy, clarity, and yes, arousal. You might not notice it right away, but your internal system is switching back on, like an engine warming up after sitting in the cold for too long. By day 7, something changes. You may start waking up with more clarity, more drive. Your muscles, especially in your legs and core, begin responding better. Some men even report consistent, firmer morning function around this time. Not once in a while, consistently. Testosterone levels begin rising naturally as your body uses the cholesterol and nutrients from the eggs to manufacture that vital hormone. Again, by the time you hit day 30, the changes are no longer subtle. You feel stronger, more grounded. Energy comes more easily. Your confidence starts to return, not because you're trying to be 25 again, but because you're finally feeling like the man you've always been. Your body isn't fighting you anymore. It's working with you. I've seen this transformation again and again, not from gimmicks or pills, but from biology finally getting what it needs. And yet, if these changes are so powerful and so simple, why are so many older men still feeling weak, tired, and disconnected? The answer might surprise you, and it's not your fault now if all of this can start happening in just a few days. More clarity, more energy, stronger morning function. You might be wondering something very important. If the solution is so simple, so accessible, and so effective, why are so many older men still feeling drained, disconnected, and defeated? Why do thousands of good men wake up every morning thinking this is just aging, when it might be something else entirely? The answer isn't what you think. Because what I've seen over the years is that most men are not lazy, and they're not broken. They've just been given the wrong information and the wrong breakfast. Let me explain why it's not your fault, why most seniors feel weak, and why it's not their fault. One of the hardest parts of my work is watching good men blame themselves for what aging has done to their bodies. I've sat across from men who ran companies, built homes, raised families, men who've stared down life's biggest storms, now sitting in my clinic, Ashamed because they feel weak, tired, or like they've lost something inside. But here's what I always tell them. It's not your fault. You've simply been given the wrong map. For decades, older men were told to fear fat, skip cholesterol, and avoid foods like eggs, the very foods their bodies desperately needed. You were told cholesterol would clog your arteries, that fat was dangerous, and that toast, jam, cereal, or no breakfast at all was the safer way to age. But science has flipped that old advice on its head. And the truth is, your body has likely been starving for the nutrients that fuel testosterone, blood flow, and strength. So when your mornings are built around sugar, low protein, or nothing at all, what happens? Your testosterone drops, your blood flow slows, your muscles break down faster, and over time, that invisible decline shows up in every part of your life. Your energy, your Andrew. Sleep, your confidence. Even your ability to perform as a mantis isn't just aging. This is nutritional neglect caused by outdated advice. And no one told you, but the good news is this. The moment you start feeding your body the right way, with foods that build hormones, restore blood flow, and give you steady energy, your body listens. It doesn't punish you. It forgives you. And it starts to rebuild Eve, seeing men whose hands used to tremble start gripping strong again. Men who couldn't walk a block regain the stamina to hike with grandkids. Men who thought their spark was gone come home to their wives with confidence in their eyes again, because when your body finally gets what it's been missing, your strength comes back, your clarity comes back, and you stop feeling invisible. You are not broken. You've just been misinformed. But now that you know the truth, everything can change. Once you understand what's really been happening. Once you stop blaming yourself and start feeding your body what it's been missing, you open the door to real, lasting change. And that's when everything starts to shift. Your body begins responding again. Your confidence rebuilds. And for many of the men I've helped, that one change in mindset, that moment when they finally stop fighting themselves and start nourishing their strength, it leads to a comeback story they never saw coming. But don't just take it from me. Let me introduce you to a few men who made the shift. Real men, in their 70s and 80s, who came into my clinic feeling worn down and left with something they thought was gone forever. There's something powerful about hearing a man speak from experience, especially when he's walked through the same struggles you're facing now. Over the years, I've met hundreds of men in their 70s and even 80s who thought their story was winding down. They felt like the spark was gone, that intimacy was over, that their energy would never return. But after one simple shift in their morning, they didn't just feel alive again. They felt like themselves. Let me introduce you to Harold. He was 73 when we first met, quiet, reserved, and visibly worn down. He said to me, "Doc, I'm not trying to be 25 again. I just want to feel like me." So we started simple. 2 whole eggs, some healthy fat, and a touch of protein each morning. That was it. 3 weeks later, he returned, standing taller, eyes brighter, and smiling. I wake up ready now, not just physically, but mentally. My wife noticed. I noticed. I didn't think this was possible at my age. And then there was Bernard, 76, a retired school principal who had withdrawn from his social life, disconnected from his wife. He said he felt flat, like something inside him had shut off. We rebuilt his breakfast from scratch, added eggs, real fat, real protein within a month. He came back and said, "I'm laughing again. I'm holding her hand again, and I don't feel ashamed anymore." These aren't just stories. They're proof that aging doesn't mean decline. That strength, connection, intimacy, they're all still within reach. All these men had one thing in common. They didn't chase gimmicks. They didn't buy pills. They just gave their bodies what they were missing and stayed consistent. And what they got in return was dignity, confidence, and a sense of manhood that had quietly faded but never truly left. So the question now isn't, can I really change? It's, am I willing to start? Because your story isn't over. It might just be waiting to begin again. These men aren't rare cases. They're not outliers. They're men just like you, who made one simple change and gave their body permission to rebuild. Not with pills, not with extreme diets, just with real food. At the right time, in the right way. And that change starts in the morning. Every day, your body is asking, will you feed me strength or starve me again? And the answer to that question determines everything: your energy, your hormones, your circulation, even your confidence. So if you're wondering where to begin, what to eat, how to fuel your day, and how to feel like yourself again, let me walk you through the exact morning plan I recommend to every man who wants results. Your morning meal plan for male performance. If there's one thing I've learned in over 30 years of practice, it's that the smallest morning habits create the biggest lifelong change. And for men over 60, nothing matters more than how you start your day. Most men either skip breakfast or fill it with sugar, toast, or processed cereal. The result: low energy, slow blood flow, and a body that never fully switches on. But when you fuel your body like it still wants to be strong, everything begins to shift. So here's the exact morning plan I recommend to every senior man who comes through my clinic. Start with 2 whole eggs, boiled, scrambled in olive oil or lightly fried, but keep the yolks. That golden center is rich in cholesterol and choline, the 2 building blocks your body needs to make testosterone and support blood flow. Next, add half an avocado. It's healthy. Fats and magnesium support smooth circulation and protect your heart and muscles. Then, include a scoop of plain Greek yogurt. It's packed with protein and probiotics, great for digestion and essential for absorbing the nutrients your body craves. Finally, finish with a small bowl of oats. Add a sprinkle of crushed walnuts or chia seeds. Why? Because oats fuel your body with long-lasting energy, and the arginine in the seeds enhances blood vessel function naturally. Now, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to follow some trendy diet. You just need to show your body that it still matters and that it deserves to be strong. This isn't just food. It's your signal. Every bite says, I'm not done yet. I'm still building something. And when you do this consistently, day after day, your body starts believing you again. That's how you restore power. That's how you reclaim manhood, not from pills, not from promises, but from real food, real habits, and real decisions that say, I'm still in the game. The doctor's final message is a quiet pain many older men carry, and most never speak of it. It's not a sharp pain. It's the slow, invisible kind. The kind that creeps in when your strength fades, when your energy drops, and when the man you used to feel like becomes a distant memory. I've seen that pain up close, in their shoulders, in their eyes, in the way they hesitate to speak the truth. Is this just who I am now? And every single time, I tell them the same thing. No, it doesn't have to be this. It isn't about chasing youth or pretending you're 30 again. It's about honoring who you are now and giving your body what it needs to show up fully. It starts with breakfast, with a decision to stop neglecting yourself, to start fueling your system like it matters. Because it does when you crack those eggs, when you pick the avocado instead of the toast. You're not just eating, you're declaring something powerful. You're saying, I still matter. And your body, your brain, your hormones, they all listen. I've watched widowers regain their energy, husbands rebuild their marriages. Men in their 70s show up to life with more fire than they had in their 50s, because it's never too late to reclaim your strength. That is what this whole message is about. Yes, eggs matter. Yes, hormones matter. But what matters most is that you believe you're not done yet. Because the truth is, your body hasn't given up on you. It's just been waiting for you to give it a reason to fight again. And when you do, when you fuel it the right way, you're not just eating breakfast. You're rebuilding the man you were always meant to be. If you've stayed with me this far, then something in you is ready. Ready to stop settling, ready to stop blaming age for everything that's changed, and ready to start reclaiming the strength and confidence that's still inside you. This entire message has been about one thing: hope through action, and that action starts every single morning with your plate nod. Supplements, not surgeries, just real whole food that speaks your body's language. 2 eggs, half an avocado, some Greek yogurt, a few oats with walnuts or chia seeds. That's it. But that one choice each morning, it sends a signal to your brain, your blood, your hormones, that you still want to live fully, not just survive, but really live, covered what happens after. 24 hours after 7 days. After 30 days, we've seen how testosterone, blood flow, confidence, and intimacy begin to return. Not because of magic, but because biology is finally getting what it needs. This is your invitation to stop waiting, to stop wondering if your best days are behind you, because they're not. Higher. Just waiting for you to show up. So tomorrow morning, skip the toast, crack those eggs, fuel your fire, and show yourself that it's not too late. Not even close. Your life, your strength, your manhood, they're still yours to claim.